Hello, everybody. Welcome along. Pleased to see you. Pleased to be with you all. Do make yourself known if you are in the chat. If you're watching on delay, please get your comments in on everything we speak about. I didn't go live yesterday, so we basically have 2 days worth of news to look at and plenty of stuff as ever for us to talk about. Do let me know that you can hear me and see me loud and clear by either hitting that thumbs up button or saying hello in the chat. Hello to Michael in Pennsylvania, who's sweating to death, lovely. And Wolfgratz is in lovely South London. And Philip asked, do I play fantasy football? I used to, but with me and fantasy football, I have to say I like putting a team in and making it. But if I'm not doing well after the end of the first 6 weeks, we will see. Good evening to Lee. Good evening to Noel. Lots of Birmingham stuff I need to ask you guys about. Hello as well, Melly, Robert as well, Samuel. Great stuff. Right, we have the League One playoff dates in. And don't say I always think I'm right, because I'm not. I got this wrong. I guessed the wrong dates. So, League One playoff dates. I expected to follow League Two's lead and be before contract Armageddon on June the 30th, but they're after it. So let's hope. Let's hope the EFL have spoken to the clubs and there's no crazy contract situations or anyone who's going to refuse to play or things of that nature. Posh FC says it's 3rd of July. Yes, it is indeed. So first legs Friday, 3rd of July. Pompey versus Oxford at 5:30, and then Fleetwood versus Wickham at 7:30. Then the second legs will be the following Monday, so really close together. Normally we would get, I'm trying to remember the championship ones. I think we got the last load of playoffs I saw, we got Saturday, lunchtime and then afternoon, and then Tuesday and Wednesday. Am I right about that? Someone will correct me if I'm wrong, because I was at all of them. Second legs will be on the Monday, so a couple of days clearance there. So Pompey then go to Oxford and Fleetwood then go to Wickham. Final at Wembley will be Monday, July 13th. Charlie says Pompey to win the playoffs. Luis says hi from West Lancashire. And Lee says it's 35 in the south of Spain. God, you guys who are living in these nice sunny countries. David says enjoyed the podcast on Millwall. Yeah, check that one out in, what was it? No One Likes Us Talk. Good chat on Millwall there. Hi to Harvey as well. Animation's an Oxford fan, so he says Pompey were coming for you. I've gone for an Oxford-Fleetwood final, so put your money on Wickham v Pompey in that matter. That said, Oxford and Pompey both have 2 infections each. Oxford have confirmed that 2 people within the club are self-isolating. In Thursday's testing, they had the 2 positives. Pair will spend 10 days in isolation. I'm not quite sure why that's not 7 days, but I'm sure someone will smart me up on that. Both were without symptoms and can exercise alone at home under the guidelines. That would imply that they're players then rather than staff if they're talking about exercise. Playoff opponents Pompey have also had personnel test positive for COVID-19 with 2 cases this week. So that is how we are looking in League One playoffs. LTFC says, oi, oi, always see you around Luton sometimes, mate. Well, I'd love to see you back down at Luton. Hello to Bailey from Philadelphia. Wow. Michael says Fleetwood play some football. Yes, they do. James, TV clash here. Charlton versus Millwall live on Sky Sports. James, you've rumbled my thunder there because I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Some new championship games on. Colm is a Fulham support in, oh God, I'm going to butcher this, aren't I? Enniscorthy, County Wexford. If anyone wants to tell me where the hell that is, let me know. Nick, we've got some Birmingham FFP stuff in the minute. Charlie says, if Oxford win the playoffs, Reading versus Oxford at last. And if Oxford stay down, you're going to get Oxford versus Swindon. There we go. My team, Ipswich, were dragged through the mud again. The Sun, little bit clickbaity, but Ipswich probably do deserve it, I guess. Ipswich are now big enough to still draw some clicks, but small enough to openly mock. The Athletic as well, claiming that the Tractor Boys suggested that the playoffs should open to anyone who wanted to take part, which, yes, is a bit embarrassing, and apparently was deemed insane by a yet unnamed boss of another EFL side. So there we go. Is Luton my local team? Because you're an Ipswich fan, you seem to go to Luton. Yeah, Luton is my most local team. I do like to go down there. Right, Spain are back now, and there is a few lessons we've learned from Spain. Last night we had Sevilla beating Real Betis in the Seville derby. So straight away they got two teams in one city, and we addressed the issue of will people turn up outside the ground? Yes, they did. Groups of fans ignored guidance as they gathered outside the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium before the game. They had trouble with their TV presentation as well. Tried to do the artificial crowd noise, but couldn't get the mix right on Spanish TV. And the empty stands were supposed to have virtual support, which the club's fans were told would look like fans in shirts, but apparently just looks like pixelated dot. Bailey says the beIN Sport animated crowd looked so obscenely stupid. There we go. The actual effect was very low-key, looking more like a collage of coloured dots, which were only visible on the wide-angle shot, with the crowd disappearing and sometimes hovering in mid-air during a replay. So let's hope that doesn't occur. I hate to sound like a little Englander here, but I'm very proud of our ability to deliver TV very well. We've done it very well. And although I do sometimes moan about the BBC and the enforcement of the licence fee, maybe that's a reason why our country's camera work has always seemingly held up very well against other European countries. So let's hope that that is the case. Barcelona are going to be playing on Saturday for the first time. Real Madrid will play on Sunday. So a few things learned from Spain. The most worrying, I guess, is we've come on the channel lots of times saying don't patronise football fans. They won't turn up outside the games. But two teams in the same city coming together, and they did. Mally says, I've bought a crowdie. I want a crowdie. Someone buy me a crowdie. There we go. If you're in the chat here, lots of people are. Brilliant. Hit that thumbs up button so it reaches more people while we are live. If you want to contribute financially, you can by hitting that dollar button. And I don't want to get too world's smallest violin, but I may well now not have a job in September. So hopefully there might be a chance to do a bit more of this, but maybe I need to up the Patreon and stuff. But do not worry, I will be okay. Everything will be all right. But there may be a shift in my employment from September. And that is all I will say about that. Premier League meeting went ahead on Thursday. So some more stuff voted through. We're coming to the Championship in just a second, so fear not. So the 20 clubs unanimously, that sounds like all of them, approved all of the match day protocols. Joe says so close to 10k subs. I never like to mention that because I think if you tweet it, then a load of people will unfollow just to spite you. Philip and Nat, yeah, thank you. Don't worry, honestly, we'll be okay. I'm used to fingers in pies and I'm confident, and you have to see it as an opportunity rather than something bad happen. Can we have a whip around and I'll build a streaming PC for them for future ventures? Noel, if you want to build me a PC, please do. That would be lovely. Right, on match day, we've now got the details of how the Premier League will work. They kind of knew all this already, but it's been voted through, so we'll just go over it. So we've got essential and unessential members of staff. We've got red, amber, and green. Obviously, if you're a player, you can go everywhere. If any of you are musicians or have been to a festival, you get your AAA pass, you can go anywhere. If you have a backstage pass, you can just go backstage. You have a camping pass. It's going to be a little bit like that, but hopefully we won't get the type of things that go on festivals with maybe some favours offered to security for certain people to get where they need to. I'm sure that won't be happening inside Premier League football matches. There'll be questionnaires, temperature check when they arrive. God, I went to the dentist today and had to go through all of that. Things on my feet and gloves and a temperature check on the way in and on the way out, and a mask and a swash and all of this stuff. So they also present a clinical passport, which would be a barcode on their phone or on paper for their COVID-19 status. So we're going to get 300 people in the stadium. So that does sound like we'll get some journalists in there as well, because we're not actually going to have that many essential staff. cameramen and journalists, and I guess they're going to need liaison people in the stadium as well. I don't know whether they'll be essential or unessential, but only up to 300. What about my hair? Did that need a test too? No, but there was a fun moment where the girl tried to put the mask over me and it all got stuck. But hey, it's up now. David says, won't ask why, pop the thermometer. There we go. Cheers, David. There we go. Right, masks are not going to be compulsory. I know we've seen all of the Bundesliga subs in masks. That's not going to be compulsory, but players can wear them if they want. They've kind of gone half hog on hotels now because the Premier League has asked clubs to avoid hotels, but accepts that for teams such as our friends Norwich, well, I would say up the road, but I don't live in Ipswich anymore, that their distance does necessitate overnight stays. I'm sorry, as soon as you say hotels are not exempt, all the teams are going to go and do overnights, aren't they, in hotels? We'll see how the admin staff are going in, booking them up. I'm sure they already had deposits down on lots of things of that nature. So we will have a look. Nat, we're going to talk about points deductions stuff in a second with the Birmingham stuff. Also, Sky Sports have added that there's going to be interactive crowd noise. So you're going to be able to dial it up on your remote, whether you want interactive crowd noise or not. And God, this sounds awful. You can select a chant on the Sky Sports app, which will be, pretty cringeworthy, I'm sure. But look, they're trying their best, aren't they, the TV companies? We're going to watch anyway. Come on. We've all been waiting for 3 months now. So there we go. Right. Let's talk about Championship because I know the majority of people are here for the Championship. Please, again, hit that thumbs up button if you are in the chat. We're up to 41. Let's try and get that up to 50 and draw some more people into this here. Dan says, what's my thoughts on Ipswich not doing a player of the season? Ipswich Town not doing a player of the season, not because they're terrible, but apparently because it would be too easy to hijack it online. So let's have a see how that pans out. Maybe there'll be a bit of lobbying and they'll do one. Maybe they should just got the players to have voted for it. I'm sure they'll still do all of that. Do I think Brentford can catch Leeds and West Brom, says Chris, before we talk about the Championship? Well, lots of Brentford fans got excited after they won a friendly against Arsenal. But remember, never get excited by a friendly. They're a long way back, put it that way. Bailey asked, do I think smaller clubs like QPR, his words, not mine, will go through the effort of setting up crowd noise through their paid club streaming service? No, I don't think they will. I think Sky can afford it. And, Sky just don't want to lose fans during the game. They know that fans are going to be there at the start, but they don't want them to sit. I know a number of people watch Bundesliga and tapped out after half an hour, but they want to keep them there. They want their advertisers to, for people to see the adverts all the way through. So let's see. But no, I can't imagine they will. Dan says, yeah, I remember the 13-14 Norwich City one was hijacked. Have I seen the new Leeds away kit? No, Jack. We tweeted to me at Benjamin Bloom. If you're in the chat and you don't follow me on Twitter, at Benjamin Bloom. Anyway, Championship TV games. I think James, the Charlton fan, pointed this out. Charlton Millwall will now be screened on Sky on July the 3rd. And yes, that will clash, let me tell you, with which one, with Fleetwood Wickham. I'll do a poll for which one you want me to cover, but knowing the amount of Millwall friends I've got, I'll be watching Charlton v Millwall, sorry, Fleetwood and Wickham fans. Oh, Bailey's just pointed out the Ajax kit is beautiful, isn't it? There we go. Up the Blade, says Paul. Hello, Paul. There you go. Still fans tuning in from Sheffield United and Norwich and Villa. James says, wonder if any fans will turn up to that one. Well, if what I've heard is correct, and I don't want to get too political about this, a lot of South Londoners are going to be turning up to stop people defacing statues. And I'm not giving an opinion either way on that, but I'm just saying that is what I have heard. And if I were a coffee swigging Liberal and the Millwall and the Charlton lot turned up, maybe I'd become a little less big for my boots, put it that way. But I'm not going to get into the politics of that. Right, anyway, Charlton Millwall, July the 3rd. Derby Forest, that's pretty much a tap-in for Sky, isn't it? 12:30 on the 4th. Bristol City versus Cardiff, the M4 derby as well. Swansea versus Sheffield Wednesday will go on July the 5th. July the 7th on the Tuesday. God, we got 5 live games in 5 days. 5 days there. Forest versus Fulham. Then on the Wednesday, oh God, it keeps coming. West Brom versus Derby and Leeds versus Stoke. And I guess they will review that thereafter. So some new championship games up to July the 9th. Remember, we've only got 13 days or so after that, but still, that's 6 more games, I think, isn't it? So, expect Sky to move as they go. Michael says, are all Leeds games on TV? I know people get funny about that, but I'd put all the Leeds games on TV because you're going to draw the most eyeballs, aren't you? So it's numbers and figures behind these decisions, isn't it? Brilliant. 100 viewers in the chat. Please hit that thumbs up. Generation TRS, who's got a Newcastle badge, says, busy Ben in a fortnight. Yes, I need to run this by HQ. I'm probably not going to be doing 2 games per day, but the plan is, and this is with consultation with viewers and subscribers, that I'll be doing a 15-minute live stream before the game, 15 minutes at half-time live stream, and then a review after the game. So if you are watching the game, you can join me before, in the middle, and then after to share your thoughts and to hear mine. And I'm still wonderfully flattered that people give the slightest crap about my thoughts, but it's brilliant and we all share in it together. Yeah, Mally says Leeds move to a Thursday. Dan says in the car, Dan, I'm going to be sat on my sofa 1 floor down from here, so that's going to be lovely. Right, let's talk Birmingham, and I know we've got some Blues in the chat. Help me out with this because I'm struggling to understand that. Bailey says I'd imagine be doing that. Yeah, probably just the Sky games. Yeah, I think that will cover every single day. Dan says, boo, I'm not going to the car. Although, if you do remember, I did do a comedy video from the car after Brentford-Bolton was cancelled because Bolton couldn't get it going. But you can check that on the channel. Right, I don't know really about the Derby case, but here's some stuff on the Birmingham case. See if you can make head nor tail of this. So the situation was that the EFL tried to charge Birmingham this season. This has nothing to do with the 9 points last season. And that the commission decided that Birmingham were not guilty. So that would seem the charge was erroneous. Then the EFL appealed against the commission. So you would think the EFL are thinking, oh no, Birmingham have done something wrong here and we want to keep fighting this. The commission got it wrong. That would be your initial thought, wouldn't it? The commission, the appeal against the commission has now gone in the EFL's favour and against Birmingham. So you're now thinking, okay, are Birmingham getting charged? No, there's going to be no points deduction and no fine. So, which leads me to the question, and I'm sure Kieran Maguire has done something, and I'm sure Blues fans will help me out on this. Why, if the EFL have gone and appealed the commission's decision, have they now not done sanctions against Birmingham? I'm not commenting on whether Birmingham are guilty or not guilty. I just do not get why the EFL would bring a charge, have it rejected, go to the trouble of appealing, win the appeal, and then not impose sanctions against Birmingham. I do not get it. Noel says, knuckle wrap, no points, no fine sounds good to me. I'm sure it does sound good if you're a Blues fan, Noel. But does anybody, if anyone can explain this to me, I'll send a DM to Kieran and see if he can smarten me up. But doesn't make a lot of sense. Nick says EFL are out for Birmingham. Ewan says Derby have done nothing wrong. Ridley says I don't think there will be any points deductions. And to Ridley's point there, and to Ewan's point about Derby, if I'm now a Derby or a Wednesday fan, and the Birmingham appeal has been quashed, but they haven't got a points deduction. If I'm a Wednesday or a Derby fan, now they get a points deduction, am I going to be up in arms because Birmingham didn't get one? All very, very strange. So whoever just said in the chat the points deductions, Ridley, might be right. Maybe we get no one is going to get a points deduction now. I have got no flipping idea about this. David says the answer is probably to enable them to set a precedent in relation to other cases. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, yeah. Chosen One says FFP was put in place to prevent smaller clubs challenging the big clubs. A lot of people agree with you. Macclesfield believe that the EFL are trying to kick them out of the league, says DCFC Joe. And Charlie said it's gone quiet at Reading, thought we were in trouble too. Yeah, it has gone quiet there. I don't know which part of the Reading training ground or stadium they're going to sell next, but I think the next time they're going to be in trouble as well. Lee says, so Lee's getting fined 200 grand for not breaking any rules, yet Birmingham found guilty of breaking rules. Lee's words, not mine. Yeah, 200 grand did seem a bit steep for Bielsa, considering they put a rule in afterwards. But I don't want to go into that. That was very controversial. At the time, David says, my understanding it was the sale of Adams. It seemed perverse making us sell him in January when we got more money in summer. Yeah, that's true. Although what I will say is if the EFL working with teams is like auditors, then it's just the case that they move assets as quickly as they can. They don't care whether you're going to get more money for them. But yeah, I take the point. They did get more money there. Ridley says Mel Morris used the loophole, didn't break the rules. Yeah, we'll find out. So Derby, it's the amortisation of players and the value of the stadium that they have an issue with. So we'll see what comes of that. But Birmingham off the hook here. Birmingham will not face points deduction or fine. However, and now say the matter is finally closed. You Blues fans would be pleased to hear. So watch this space now. Birmingham to sign someone for 10 million and sign Scott Hogan for 8 million or something in the next window. Bit of a good news story before we go to questions. Ewan says Rooney was free. I'd even go as far to say as Rooney will actually make a profit, because I think if 32 Red pay his wages and they sell a load of Rooney shirts, then they should be all right, shouldn't they? So we will see what the accounts say with regard Rooney. But what was that Real Madrid president called? Was it Valdano? He said sometimes the most expensive signings are actually the cheapest because they make you so much money back in endorsements and bums on seats. I was there for Rooney's first game against Charlton. So David says, as I said, the charge was not for a breach, but not following the plan. Yeah, so maybe they haven't actually breached anything. But then why would the EFL appeal? That would intimate that the people who are saying they're out for Birmingham, well, maybe they could be working on some of these other alleged breaches. But look, people get very emotional about these, so I'll just wait for the for the things to be done. Anyway, a good news story. Anthony Robinson, who you remember was putting brilliant metrics up from fullback at Wigan for progressive work and passing forward, even getting close to the brilliant Reece James who they had on the other side last season. He was all set to go to AC Milan in January, wasn't he? And then a heart murmur came up, an irregular heartbeat, and he didn't get to make the move. He's now back in training, so a good news story for them. So, yes, Robinson back, and let's hope it all works out for them. Noel says Juventus made 3.7 million worldwide on Ronaldo shirt sales. Yeah, I don't know how much that paid Ronaldo for, but a nice number as well. Colm says if Charlton got new owners now, we'll go to questions now. Yes, essentially they have. It was East Street has now been taken over by Paul Elliott, not that Paul Elliott, but yes, essentially they have got new owners, but they've got to go through the fit and proper persons test. I could probably get through the fit and proper persons test. Nick Leeson could probably get through the fit and proper person test. Look him up, kids. So yeah, Al Capone could probably get through the fit and proper persons test. There has been a high court something been put in against the Charlton owners, but they've dismissed it as ridiculous. So yeah, that should go through, and hopefully Charlton will get some stability. Charlie says, do I think Puskas will stay at Reading? There was a big link away. I think Puskas is a high value player. We'll see what the transfer market does. Reading do seem well stocked, don't they? With Matchday and Baldock and Puskas and Yao up front. So maybe they could get Reading cash in, but they'll need the right price, won't they? Really says, would the EFL give Wednesday a points deduction, knowing they'll probably go down? I don't see Wednesday going down without a points deduction. I think that would be losing every game. But, yeah, let's just say a points deduction would put them in big trouble. Robert Maxwell could probably get through. Didn't Robert Maxwell used to own Oxford? So he probably did get through. I don't probably no fit and proper person says there. Bailey says, favourite championship ground. Come on, say Loftus Road. Well, let's talk specifically about Loftus Road and the bloody posts. You can't sit anywhere in Loftus Road remotely high up without a post in your way, even in the platinum seats where I often sit. So what I will say about Loftus Road is if you do sit on the back row near the press, you can see all the monitors, and if you get the right seats, you do have a lovely view, and I do like Loftus Road of a night game, I have to say. Lee says, if Steve Dale, this is the ex-Bury owner, isn't it, can get through, then anyone can. Mally says, are Leeds going to bottle it again? No, of course they're not. Rico says, do I think the Birmingham situation is the EFL with a superiority complex and wanting to show they can win appeals if they want to, and they can charge if they want to? Rico, I've got no evidence to say that you're not right about that. You could be. That would be very much posturing and even bullying if it was the case. So I wouldn't like the EFL to be behaving like that. But we do need the EFL to be stronger, and there has been some evidence of that. But as long as they don't use all their strength, constantly having to go at Birmingham, then it will be okay. Boris Johnson would fail those. There we go. Jim says, could points deductions be imposed at the start of next season? Surely that would be worse for Derby and Wednesday. Well, they could do that. I think you would get Steve Gibson having a big pop if they didn't do that, and he's got money to sue. And Barnsley as well will go legal if that's not the case. They've already said if FFP is not punished for guilty teams this season. Again, I'll reiterate, I'm not saying Derby and Wednesday are guilty. I'm saying if they are found guilty. I think on the basis that with FFP, we're always talking about accounts delayed a year and then the delays. I do think you have to do it as soon as you can, because the infractions have happened 2-3 years ago by the time punishment is meted out. So yeah, that would be I would suggest they should be done this season, but it would seem harsh with COVID. But if rules have been broken, ladies and gentlemen, then Nick says, could fans be asked to get a health passport to get in grounds? Great idea, Nick. I would wholeheartedly endorse that, and I'm sure clubs will push for that once next season has started. QPR, I ain't had any posts for 3 days. There we go. Robert Maxwell, owner and chairman of Oxford, apparently wanted to. Oh yes, Thames Valley Royals, David. Indeed. Who do I think will win the top goal scorer in the Championship? Watkins or Mitrovic? Oh, I think Fulham have got hard games. Oh, Mitrovic is so good, isn't he? But Watkins will get more chances. It's going to be tight. Let's go for Mitrovic. Great player at this level, isn't he? Way, way too good. Jalami B, sorry if I butchered that. When we're up, will Bielsa stay or be poached? No, Bielsa is loyal. He will definitely stay. But if Leeds start to light up the Premier League, then you will start to... You could get... maybe you could do it with Leeds, but you could get Bielsa managing a big club in England, which would be glorious, wouldn't it? There you go. Hey, if I was Newcastle and I had more money than God like these Saudis do, you could do a lot worse than Bielsa there, couldn't you? Would you say Championship is the best league in the world? Not in terms of quality, but in terms of excitement. In some ways, it's the best league in the world, but in some ways, it's the worst league in the world. But I love it, and we all do, don't we? Dean Garner or Asai Samuel? Oh, good question, that, Rico. Dean Garner seems to have had more upside this season, seems to have had higher peaks, but Asai Samuel's great. Both really nice players. Excuse my ignorance. What nationalities and what countries can they qualify? Can we get them in the England representative teams ASAP? But both really, really good. Mitro is the best striker in the Championship. Wish Leeds had him. Jim, you're quite probably right, as long as he would follow instructions as well as Bamford does. So there we go. Jaggy says, Bilic out, hasn't won a game since February. Naughty. Apparently he jumped the ship rather than steal my pension. Allegedly, yes, Mr. Maxwell. Very, very dubious. Bailey says, I saw a report, saying the Liga teams want to get fans in the ground this year. Las Palmas are on the Canary Islands, so they can get away with it. Look, come on. We all know that the second you can get 1, 10, 100 fans in the ground, they're going to get them in. You know that's going to happen. My birthday Sunday, 30 years as a Reading fan and proud. Happy birthday for Sunday. Charlie, let us know your favourite Reading moment, season, etc. 106 points, lots of playoff stuff. Did I see Josh Cullen's extended his loan contract? Showing Lyle Taylor how to be professional. There you go. Good news. And finally, some positive news for Charlton going into this stuff. How long am I live for? Normally half an hour, so we'll wrap up soon. More money than God. You sound like Sean Bean in Goldeneye. There we go. I think I heard Joe Rogan say it about Jeff Bezos. More money than God. So give Joe Rogan some credit for that one. Jude Bellingham to Dortmund. Turned down Man United, according to local reports. How much is Jude Bellingham? I suppose if Sancho's example is anything to go by, tear it up in Germany and then come back to the top four of the Premier League. Jude Bellingham's going to get very rich very quickly, isn't he? There we go. Best right back in the league. Oh, this was difficult. Someone said Cash or Ayling, and I was struggling with that one the other day. Throw me any more names in. Richard said Bielsa won't leave Leeds for another Premier League club. He's not driven by money. No, he's driven by the process and the beauty of the game, which is what we all love about Bielsa, isn't it? What do I think of Ilias Chair at QPR? Yeah, really, really good. Maybe not. Quite obviously, he's a bit smaller and doesn't quite have the maybe the strength on the ball that Eze does. Maybe a little bit more pace. Maybe not quite as good a dribbler. But hey, you got both of them looking good, isn't it? Lewis Graben or Cauley Woodrow? I'm going Graben on that one. I know a lot of people don't like him as a person, but good dribbler, good finisher, proven championship. Someone other than Romeo. Yeah, he splits opinion, doesn't he, Marlon Romeo down at Millwall? There we go. 106 points, says Charlie, yeah. Oh, Jimmy Quinn scoring versus... Oh, great memories there. God, I used to try and get Jimmy Quinn, age 38, on Championship Manager 96 or something, show my age there. Mally says, are we obligated to buy Sean Kevin Augustin? He's crocked again. I think there's some kind of obligation to buy if they're promoted, but I'm sure there are clauses in it if he hasn't kicked a ball, isn't there? Lee says, what are my thoughts on Man United letting Dean Henderson? Has that happened? Has that gone through? I think they should let him stay, but they could be very facetious and block that. But let me know whether that's gone through or not. Who do I think will go for the biggest transfer fee in the Championship? They're all going to be cut down, but you can't really look past Bellingham. Although you could get a situation where, say, Fulham don't go up or Brentford don't go up. One of them's not going to go up, likely. That Benrahma or Mitrovic would be a very, very big sell as well. Michael says Dalsgaard. Yeah, Dalsgaard's a good player as well. And what I like about Dalsgaard is, I know Ayling can do the same before you Leeds fans tell me, but he can tuck in and play third centre-back as well. Fullbacks have improved so much. At the start of the lockdown, I watched the 1989, the Arsenal-Liverpool. And look, I know there were some great fullbacks. Oh, Bogle, yeah, good shout for right back as well, for Derby. I know there were some great fullbacks in that game. Dixon, Winterburn, Nicol, Venison probably. But their entire job was to boot the ball down the line and hold their position and not really go forward. Now you look at fullbacks. Jim says, any more word on grounds for key games? Well, we thought we had good news with Liverpool-Everton, that going through, but probably bad news with the stuff happening in Seville. I guess the police are going to take each one individually. How long till Sunderland come up? Well, hopefully they don't bully Ipswich next season, but you'd think only a couple of years. But Sheffield United were down a long time. That's what we get told. 6 years for Sheffield United. Marlon Romeo is the mutts. End of, says Sam. And apparently the nephew of Jazzy B or something from Soul to Soul. John Swift or Matthias Jensen, says Rico. Swift. Probably just Swift. But I do like Jensen. I do like both the Scandinavians in the Brentford midfield. And I can't. What's the name of the other Scandinavian in the Brentford midfield? I can't think now. I think Scott Hogan is staying to the end of the season. Says David. God, Birmingham need to get that deal done. He's been superb for them. Chris says, do I know how many more points Macclesfield could be stuck in League 3 to get relegated? Well, it would only need to be 3. Wouldn't it? But I think the number I heard from Matt Slater, who you should all follow on Twitter, who's been excellent, athletic journalist, he said 7 he's expecting. So don't quote me on that. Marlon is an overlapping fullback who... I'm not going to read that, Wolfgratz. Poor old Romeo. Maybe they do. And on the other side, Murray Wallace for Millwall strikes me as a centre-half playing at fullback as well. So maybe Millwall... but they've played 3 at the back as well. So Villa have granted Hogan to stay for the end of the season. Jazzy B's dad begged Marlon Romeo's pardon, then back to life. Another one for you youngsters there. Dark horse for the league title next season. Are we talking championship here? I hate to say it as an Ipswich fan, but if Norwich go down and keep any 4 out of Buendia, Pookie, Farker, Webber, Aarons, They'll probably get 90 points next season. Norgard, thank you. So Norgard's the sitter, isn't he? And Jensen's the kind of number 8 guy. Yeah, I would have Swift just on the basis he's more of a playmaker, but that's no offence. If I played or worked at Sunderland, do you think you'd like the documentaries? Oh my God, I cringe at the documentary cameras. I'd keep well away from them. And says everybody in the chat now, you like talking to a camera and showing off for 30 minutes at a time. But it's just embarrassing in that situation, isn't it? Dan says, amazing how the role of fullback has changed. Indeed, everything keeps changing, doesn't it? We've seen the centre halves having to be able to pass now, keepers having to come out, but it's the fullbacks that have had it the most in the last couple of years. Kean says, live tomorrow. Not sure. We'll see how the news comes out tomorrow. Maybe I'll look at some Spanish stuff. But we're all rearing up, and I'll get everything advertised for next week's streams. Back to reality, says David. Let's hope we are all back. Leeds, train as you play or you won't play. Yeah, we've heard about this, and Phil Hayes done a piece on murder ball today, so that should be interesting. And what I will say for you Leeds fans, I heard from Joe from All Leeds, and we should be on the same table at the Football Content Awards if I transfer him some money very quickly. So please do vote for me. The Football Content Awards, best in video, Benjamin Bloom. Murray is a centre back, but been immense at left back, says Alex. Yeah, I've seen him play a lot at left back here. Dinner tonight, Noel, and a beverage. It is an ongoing saga. So this is a Chilean red wine that I am drinking, and I had steak with a mushroom sauce, and we got it from the butchers. It was a treat tonight, and we've got lamb tomorrow as well. Sorry, any veggies. I was veggie for 5 years, but I got converted by a holiday to France. It's very middle class, this sounding now. I know you're a working class football fan. So dark horse for next season, says Jim. I'll go again with Norwich. Jaggy says, would I do a watch along? I would try it, but when I did canvass the subscribers, they didn't seem as keen in a watch along as they did with a detailed match review. So I'm going to avoid it for now. Van der Horn or Tim Ream? I'm going to be quite quick on that one. Van der Horn for definite. Noel says, your good self and Ben HD. We have done that, Noel. Check that out. Type in Benjamin Bloom, Ben HD. I interviewed him about Preston, but yeah, Ben HD is a machine and a great guy and keeps up really great energy and quite an inspiration, actually. And he's a lot younger than me, so I've got loads of respect for Ben HD. And for those people who try and pitch us against each other, no, it's not working. We've had that on Twitter a bit, but no, we are mates, and I'd love to watch a game with him. Going to tune into Juve v Milan today. I might have a look at that, actually. Indeed. Mally says, brilliant. Joe's great, but don't tell me about it. Are they in the same category as me, all these? I didn't know. There we go. What grape, says David? I'm not that much of a wine aficionado. Valencia v Levante. I always try and argue that I spend so much time on the Championship in the English divisions. Dan says, nah, middle class. There we go. That I do struggle to follow Premier League and Spain and stuff, so not very familiar with Valencia or Levante, although someone will tell me an obviously mega player who plays for both of them. Do we have a winning shirt for a winning award night? Maybe we'll get something new. We'll see. Look, I'm not going to win, but it's going to be fun to go to Spurs and hang out with all these guys. As well as Sky doing crowd noise for Championship guys. I would have thought so, Ridley. I would have thought they'll just pump out whatever they're doing in the Premier League. So hey. And we still get Scott Minto. Maybe we don't get Gary Neville, and we do get Don Goodman, but there we go. Benny's Leeds through and through, says Adam and Eve, marching on together. I like Leeds a lot, but I'm Ipswich, we all know. Could be more of a drink along, says David. I don't necessarily like this reputation I'm cultivating for myself as an alcoholic, but there we go. Scott Malone or Joe Bennett? Joe Bennett, probably slightly on age. Keep these coming, Rico. They're good fun. Smith is also a great YouTuber. Is he the Leicester guy? Because I think I might have done a live stream with him last week, so it's really rude. I did a live stream with Alex Griffin, who's another Ipswich YouTuber. Forza Milan, says Matt, who's in Milan, isn't he? So, God, where are we at tonight? Philadelphia, Milan. We had someone in Spain, didn't we? There we go. Alex says, do I watch Under the Cosh? No, but if you've got any good recommended shows, then please do. I do struggle to keep up with too much YouTube stuff because I'm always writing scripts and... Ewan, what have you done? Jimmy Savile or Luke Ayling? Well, when I was a kid, I happened to love Jimmy Savile, and Jim will fix it. And when the machine brought the badge along, but obviously his character's been proven to be rather dubious, so I'll definitely go for Luke Ayling, who flies the flag for top knots and long-haired people. What Spurs? Wipe my feet on the way out. Come on, Noel. Beautiful new ground. Wolfgrat says, I feel people should supply their own noise. Mic us all up in the stadiums, in our homes, and pipe it through the stadiums. Some of us can follow two teams, Utrecht and Norwich. Why Utrecht down? Goodness me. All championship games should have been shown, only fair on their fans. Yeah, it's just the infrastructure, isn't it? Premier League team have got stuff to do it. Good evening, Ben. Barry here. Got my laptop fixed at last. Been enjoying your lockdown chat. Where do I go to vote? Hi, Barry. Footballcontentawards.com. Leeds new away shirt for awards, please. Yes. I genuinely will never get tired of watching Tony Yeboah's goal at Wimbledon, where he appears to not have control of the ball at any time and then slashes it in the top corner and off the bar. What a goal. Brummy Joe, yes. Do you know what? I don't know if this is private, but I think Joe's spoken to Brummy Joe. He may be at the table too. I don't know if he knows anything about that, but yeah, we will see. I must do something with Brummy Joe. Yeah, excellent. Rich is in Thailand. How's lockdown in Thailand and how's the weather? QPR Philadelphia Union, and for some glory Barcelona. There we go. Philadelphia Union. Dear me. Utrecht, because I fell in love with the city when I had my Dutch home. There we go. Is it anything like Amsterdam? Lots of people fall in love with Amsterdam for narcotic reasons, don't they? But hey, my student days. There we go. Davo Birmingham, sound lad. Does he not work for the club now, kid? I know. I thought he got the job doing their own social media, but there you go. Right, guys, I have gone 41 minutes. Oh, here we go. Decord over Reed or Robson Kanu? Reed, I think, just about. But Robson Kanu's probably had the better season. Charlie's watching in Bedford. Hello from Wixham's, Charlie, which you'll probably know is just up the road. You're probably within 10 miles of me, Charlie. Small world. One team will lose every game, I said. I do think someone will tank, don't they? Will it be Hull? Will it be someone with dead rubbers? I don't want to upset Charlie, but Reading maybe? I don't know. Someone will tank, won't they? We'll see. And if they don't lose all the games, someone will get 1 point from 9 games. Or something. Something I've always been amazed at as an American is how the British stadiums can look large but are very small. Strangely, I found with American arenas, they look very large but are very small. When I went to the one in, where did I go? Orlando. I don't know what sports team were playing the arena in Orlando, but I've been there. I work in Wixon's at B&M. No, you don't, Charlie. No, you don't. Unbelievable scenes. I'm literally stone's throw away from you. Great stuff. Weather is great and no lockdown. This is in Thailand. I have to watch football at 5 a.m. David says red or white. It's red. Oh, Samuel's in Bedford too as well. Who do you support, Samuel? Are you Luton? I can't make out your shirt there. Preston will tank, says Rico. Will Hull get any points? Not seeing it. Night Ben, I'm off for Toad in the Hole. Excellent. Are we live, Robin? We are live, but we are 43 minutes in. Basketball stadiums are tiny. Derby v Forest playoff final. Derby to the playoffs, dearie me. That's optimistic, I think. Luton, yeah, nice one, Samuel. 3 out of Ipswich season tickets got renewed, says Nick. Yeah, I've renewed the Blue Monday one, but there we go. Right, I'm going to say thank you to everyone. I'm going to say if you're still in the chat, hit the thumbs up button. It's on 68. Let's see if we can go above 70 just very, very quickly. As I said, sob story. I may be out of a job in September, quite likely. So if you want to donate with a super chat or a donation, that might help. I may need to raid the YouTube AdRev account for whatever's in there. You can follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Hit subscribe, ring the bell. Keane says see you tomorrow. Maybe we'll see if there's any stories coming out. But maybe Sunday might be better. Normally a better news day. 79 thumbs up, outstanding, brilliant stuff. I'm on Patreon as well. As I ease out of my job, We'll start putting more stuff on the Patreon and Patreon only stuff down there as well. But remember, there'll always be loads of stuff for free on YouTube. Right, we're coming up 45 minutes. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm going to lose my voice, so I am going to do what I always do, which is terrible, isn't it? You can see it in my eyes, and go enjoy the rest of my evening. Thank you, everybody. Brilliant support, great stream, great questions, great load of subscribers. What a great time. One for the road, Dallas or Gibbs. Oh, Dallas has been so good this season. Let's go, Dallas. There you go. I'm pandering to the Leeds fans again like I get accused of. Right, see you all soon from all around the world. Outstanding. Bye-bye Thailand and Philadelphia and Spain and wherever everybody else was in America. And I'll see you all soon. Over and out.